Paragraph 1. Anatomical structure and tissue composition of the human tongue. The human tongue is an extraordinarily complex, multifunctional, and highly sensitive organ composed of layered tissues, muscular fibers, sensory receptors, glands, and an intricate network of nerves and blood vessels. Scientifically, the tongue is classified as a muscular hydrostat, which means it operates without bones and relies on coordinated muscle pressure and fluid dynamics to change shape, position, and orientation. It contains two major muscle groups: the intrinsic muscles, which alter the tongue's shape by shortening, lengthening, flattening, or curling it, and the extrinsic muscles, which control its gross movements such as protrusion, retraction, elevation, depression, and lateral shifting. These muscles work in harmony and provide exceptional flexibility and precision, enabling complex actions such as speech articulation, swallowing, grooming, and sensory analysis. The surface of the tongue is covered with tiny projections known as papillae, filiform, fungiform, circumvallate, and foliate, each serving sensory or mechanical functions. Within many of these papillae lie taste buds, which contain specialized gustatory receptor cells. A typical adult tongue can contain between 2,000 and 8,000 taste buds, and these cells renew approximately every 2 weeks. Beneath the tongue lies the lingual frenulum, anchoring it to the floor of the mouth. Surrounding it are major salivary glands, parotid, submandibular, and sublingual glands, which support lubrication and digestion. The tongue's high vascular supply ensures continuous nourishment and rapid healing, while its neural connections, primarily through the hypoglossal 12, facial 7, glossopharyngeal X, and vagus X nerves, provide sensory, motor, and taste functions. This anatomical and cellular complexity makes the tongue one of the most advanced and versatile organs of the human body. Paragraph 2. Role in taste, sensory perception, and chemical analysis. One of the tongue's most celebrated and scientifically significant functions is its ability to detect taste, or gustation. Taste buds function as chemoreceptors, converting chemical stimuli from food into electrical signals recognizable by the brain. Human beings perceive 5 fundamental tastes: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami. Each of these tastes corresponds to specific chemical molecules. Sweetness is triggered by sugars such as glucose, saltiness by sodium ions, sourness by hydrogen ions, bitterness often by naturally occurring alkaloids or potentially toxic substances, and umami by glutamate compounds. When food molecules dissolve in saliva, they penetrate the taste pores and activate gustatory receptor cells. These signals travel via the facial, glossopharyngeal, and vagus nerves to the gustatory cortex, thalamus, and insula in the brain, where interpretation occurs. Scientific research reveals that the tongue's sensory system extends far beyond taste. It also detects temperature, pressure, texture, pain, and chemical irritants such as spice-induced heat capsaicin. This makes the tongue a central sensory hub for evaluating the safety, quality, and nutritional value of food. Taste is also closely linked to the sense of smell. Together they form the perception known as flavor. When the nasal passages are blocked, flavor perception drastically decreases, highlighting the collaborative nature of the gustatory and olfactory systems. Additionally, the tongue plays a protective biological role by helping the body detect harmful or spoiled foods. Bitter and intensely sour tastes often act as early warning signals. Through its sophisticated sensory architecture, the tongue enables humans to navigate their nutritional environment safely and intelligently. Paragraph 3. Contribution to chewing, digestion, swallowing, and salivary functions. Beyond sensory perception, the tongue is essential to the digestive process, particularly in the early stages. During eating, the tongue manipulates food within the oral cavity, coordinating with the teeth and jaw muscles to facilitate mastication, chewing. Its controlled movements ensure that food is positioned correctly between the teeth for efficient breakdown. As chewing continues, the tongue helps mix food with saliva, transforming it into a soft, cohesive mass known as a bolus. Saliva, produced by the submandibular, sublingual, and parotid glands, contains enzymes such as amylase, which begin the chemical digestion of carbohydrates. The tongue spreads saliva evenly, ensuring enzymatic action and lubrication. Once the bolus is prepared, the tongue initiates swallowing deglutition by propelling it toward the pharynx. This action involves coordinated muscular contractions forming a peristaltic wave that pushes the bolus into the esophagus. Any impairment in tongue movement can lead to dysphagia, a medical condition characterized by difficulty swallowing. In addition to assisting in digestion, the tongue plays a role in oral hygiene by helping remove food particles and distributing saliva, which neutralizes bacterial acids, protects tooth enamel, maintains oral pH, and prevents infections. Modern physiology highlights the tongue's contribution to oral proprioception, allowing us to perceive the exact location and consistency of food within the mouth. Without the tongue, essential actions such as chewing, swallowing, saliva management, and oral digestion would become nearly impossible, demonstrating its indispensability in human nutrition and digestive health. Paragraph 4. Role in speech, communication, social interaction, and neurological integration. Perhaps the most distinctive and evolutionarily advanced function of the human tongue is its role in speech production and human communication. In the process of speaking, air flows from the lungs and passes through the vocal cords to create sound. The tongue, working alongside the lips, teeth, and soft palate, shapes these sounds into intelligible speech. Its fine-tuned movements create specific phonemes, enabling the articulation of consonants and vowels. Sounds such as t, d, n, l, and r depend almost entirely on tongue placement and coordination. The tongue's involvement in phonetics and linguistic articulation makes it a crucial instrument for language. Neurologically, tongue movement is controlled by the motor cortex, Broca's area, brainstem motor nuclei, and the cerebellum, all working in harmony to regulate speed, rhythm, precision, and voluntary control. The tongue also contributes to the emotional tone of speech, expressing joy, anger, sarcasm, emphasis, and other nuances that shape human interaction. Beyond communication, the tongue plays a role in cognitive development, as speaking stimulates neural circuits associated with memory, reasoning, and learning. Linguistic use of the tongue enhances neuroplasticity, enabling the brain to form new pathways and strengthen existing ones. Culturally and socially, the tongue is central to storytelling, education, ritual recitation, music, poetry, public speaking, and the transmission of knowledge across generations. In essence, the human tongue is not merely a biological organ, it is an instrument of identity, intellect, culture, social bonding, emotional expression, and communication, a defining element of what makes us human.